The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect the opinions of Live at the Barbershop or its staff. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following podcast is intended for mature audiences only and contains adult contents, graphic language, strong sexual content, and a whole lot of shit talking. So in other words, get your kids out the room.
Live, here we go at the Barbershop with your hosts, Nisha J, Aaliyah, Black Republican, and those two crazy Caribbean guys from the Q&N show, Norris and Q. And now, the man of the hour, Mr. HNIC, Mr. Sleep When You're Dead, Hustle Now, the magnificent.
Yo, son. What's up with all that?
I was just trying to amp it up, you know, like...
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, I'm all right, I'm with that.
John, live at the Barbershop podcast.
The views and opinions expressed on Live at the Barbershop are entirely those of the host, guest, and caller and do not reflect
Check. Can you hear me now, Jazz? All right, there it is. All right, without further ado, let's bring my girl Jazz. Huh?
They didn't hear one word you said.
Wow. All right, let's do it all over again. Rewind. All right. Oh, you want? I thought you was gonna give me an intro and the whole 9 yards. Okay. All right.
Hey, it seems like this dude is here to make bloopers all night.
Yo, my man's on vacation mode already. But anyway, there you go. Yo, let's do it. Fresh to the flesh. Look, I'm your host for the night. My name is John. Sitting next to me is my man Q. What it do?
What's up?
For the second time around, I got my man AP in town. What up?
Yeah, we're here. On point.
All right. Now, let me bring my girl Jazz. Jazz is in the building. What up?
Hey y'all.
All right.
Hey.
Are we loving the look?
Wow.
It was requested. I mean, AP and the therapist was like, "Where's your crown?" So
we appreciate you, Queen.
I'm telling you, man.
My man getting his Barry White on over there. You know what I'm saying?
But look, man, these what should I say? Women
playing
or
love
females,
games.
they don't understand. They think they know dudes more than our dudes know themselves.
Nah.
I'm just saying for our looks. This is things
Well,
that
no, but
a
see,
lot of us.
But see, remember, you
Natural.
gotta tell them. You gotta let them
Yeah.
know. You know what I'm saying?
It's
But-
beautiful. I'm loving it, man.
DJ
But-
Hot Sauce saying he loving it too.
I'm
Look at that.
loving it,
Boom,
man.
Thank
boom.
you.
Okay. Oh, without
Nice.
further ado, let me bring the family therapist in.
The adult.
She the adult in the room. Okay. Miss Ashika Bailey is in the building with us. Good night. Good night.
How you
Night.
Shika?
Hello.
How you
Love
doing?
your look.
Okay.
Love your
Thank
look.
you.
All right.
Good night.
All right, so let's get it in. Because last week, man, we had a lot. So chill. What up? What up? Back in the building. Okay.
Yeah, what's up, chill?
Alice, what's up? What's up? Okay. Michelle Blake, what's good? Good night. Good night. Good night. And DJ Hot Sauce, what it do? What it do? DJ Disco, what up? What up? Okay. Okay. So now, last week, we didn't get a chance to jump into the second portion of things. It's something almost similar to what you were saying when we were in the green room talking. All right, so here's a situation. And there's a young lady that went to a show, I would say. And she saw a young man that she was casually dating with another female there, right? And the top, Jazz already gave the topic in hand right now is the guy in the wrong for bringing? Now, mind you, he probably didn't know that she was even gonna be there.
What's dating?
And it's casually dating.
Oh,
Okay, use the word right.
Casual.
Okay, in circumstances like that, is he in the wrong, or is it just wrong place, wrong time?
But if he's dating someone,
Not dating, he's casually dating.
casually. Wow.
Okay.
As long as she's casually dating also and she understands that, then there's no problem.
Yeah.
The problem arises when she does not know that or he does not know that, and they're out and about, and then they looking like Boo Boo the Fool when they're like, yeah. Oh,
Something.
and you can't walk over to them because.
Well, he did walk over to her too.
Oh wow.
He walks-
The
He walked
boldest.
over and said, "Hey, what's up?" You know, with his friend and the female and the friend's female as well. You know what I mean? Like, so in a situation like that, is he in the wrong? Was it foul for him to? Should he have ducked out? Should he had? You know what I'm saying? Was it more of him being a man about by saying what's up, or was that a duck move?
Well, I don't know about it being a man about just doing that, but it's more about being a man than running.
Okay. Female's perspective.
And I'll make another door.
Both females are speechless. Hold up. What?
I'll go first. Being a
Okay.
person who does quote unquote casually date now, because
All right. Can someone educate me on the casual dating?
so casual dating is nowadays a lot of men, when you meet guys, they don't necessarily want to be in a committed relationship. So you're starting to get to know them. Y'all might go out to eat a couple of times, y'all might hang out, vibe, whatever the case may be. But you guys are dealing with each other in the sense of, yeah, you might be on an intimacy level, but you have already had the conversation that y'all just vibing. Y'all are not committed. He's not your man. You are not his woman. You are not obligated. There is the understanding has been stated. Now, you do have some people who get with a guy or get with a girl, wine and dine and do all the things and always at their house, and they're not talking about what they are. As long as it's stated that you guys are just kicking it, vibing, hanging out, whatever you want to call it, there should be no misunderstanding if you see said woman or said man somewhere else with somebody else, because you guys have stated this is what it is. Now, he was not wrong, but if said situation was different and come to find out that was a girlfriend and not someone he was casually kicking it with, then that's where he would have been wrong at.
Meaning if the young lady was a girlfriend.
If the young lady he was
Okay.
at said event with that he walked over and spoke to was actually his girlfriend.
Oh, her. Okay.
Then it would have been a problem because then he's been lying about what's been going on. But if we're grown and we don't have obligations to each other, ties to each other, you can go see whoever you want. And we've communicated this. The key word is communication. If we've communicated this, there's no problem. But you shouldn't get me mad if you see me out.
Okay, let me ask the family therapist now, Miss Bailey.
No one made it. It's not official.
Soldier say, I like a man.
So Miss Bailey, let me ask you now: can someone really commit to that type of situation without the emotional half of things spilling out?
It's possible, but the longer that a person is into the relationship, without getting clear understanding of what they want in the very beginning. So you have to set the intention. If that's what you're going into the relationship for, to form a relationship, if you're casually dating to get to know a person, to eventually get into a relationship, that needs to be stated. So of course, emotions do come into play. Sometimes emotions come into play prior to the first date, especially if you've known someone and have been infatuated with them. So you have to consider all things. Someone may have known someone and been trying to date them for a while. If that's the case, then of course emotions have already arrived. It's already into play. So you have to, I think the intention and understanding, clear communication has to be on the table when you're dating. It's been a long time since I've been out of the dating game, but I'm quite sure it's different because it's a lot of online going on. But I think at the very end of the day, everyone is still human. Everyone is still adults. So that the respect level has to still be there. The communication is most important. And I think being intentional about what you want, no games being played. I think all of that, those are key factors if you want the relationship to be formed.
Okay, so let me ask the men in the room first, real quick.
That's
in a
not
situation.
True. That's not true.
Oh, women catch feelings before men.
Women catch that.
I was just before she was. I was just about to ask my man.
Women do not catch feelings before men. That's not always the case.
I was just about to ask them.
Men are very sensitive.
More emotional.
They just hold on to their emotions. Very sensitive.
Yeah,
they
very
just
sensitive.
chose not to show their emotions because it's a gatekeeper.
So okay,
especially men nowadays, especially men nowadays, they can't accept rejection.
They can't.
Like if you tell them no, I don't want your phone number. A lot of these dudes are really in their feelings these days. So no, you can't say that it's females.
So I'm gonna let Jazz ask.
Get really catty about it.
I'm gonna let Jazz ask the most emotional dude in the building.
Yeah.
That gotta be Q, huh?
Since Jazz, so now, Miss Bailey, I gotta put you on the game right now. Jazz and Q had something going on for a minute now about the fact of what was it again, Jazz? Oh, yeah, you can't have friends.
Right. Q and I had a discussion, and Q feels that a female cannot have male friends. Really? You cannot be platonic, ain't no such thing. But men can be platonic with women. But women can't have male friends. How many male friends you talking about? Like he went down the list. Oh no, she can't have male friends. That's not your friend. And then he looking at you, and then later he gonna want you. And
no, because
so what's with the double standard, Q?
No, we are males, and we know. We sit with them, we eat with them, we talk with them, and we know most male intention. It's just a thing. It's just a thing.
Speak for yourself, homie.
There was a disclaimer at the beginning of the show.
The views and opinions.
Yeah.
Speaking on my behalf, I've seen it happen. So you're gonna live with that concept.
Because Q been there.
Yo, you know what it is? It's crazy. I get a visual in my head, right? Like Q be the one standing on this side, And then he would run to the other side and be he's the angel of the devil. Like, yo, she can't have friends. And he's like, that's why she he's talking to each other like that. No, listen, I personally look.
She can have friends, but
not a lot.
But she should be working with those friends, right?
Huh?
She should be working with those friends.
No, you got
the work husbands.
Work husbands.
You don't want that either.
Work husband.
Yeah, that's a no-go.
Nah.
So here's the thing with it. The insecurity portion of things is usually what traps you up in the long run. It damages it more than it does help it.
Yeah.
You understand? What the song say? Que sera, whatever will be, it is what it is at the end of the day. So you like sitting there and trying to micromanage and telling people what they can and can't do, it eventually push them to go do what they do anyway.
I would never specifically tell someone that.
You just hint to them. Like, who's this guy? He can't come back here. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing at the end of the day. See, the emotional portion of it, because the reason why I'm asking for the female, she did an emotional move. She got up on to the podium and she spoke out that the guy is in the audience. And that's why I was asking now, would it have been the same thing if it was a male in the building, saw a female, would he have gotten up there and showed his emotional half? And before I got a chance to really ask the guys,
of course not.
He would have did that. He probably would have. If he was in his feelings about it, he probably would have texted her at the event and said, "What the hell you doing? Who you with?" Or he would have, hit her up afterwards and said something. If he was in his emotional compartment about it, unless the thug and he finna go yoke you up. But other than that, no, a man wouldn't have did that.
He wouldn't have publicly displayed that. That's too vulnerable. That is too vulnerable.
You wouldn't have showed it.
No.
So that would have made him look lesser.
It also depends on how you feel about that person. Would make him, upset.
Because he may have more feelings than what he alluding to.
Huh?
He may have more feelings than what he's actually telling her. Just like you guys were saying about the females being emotional. Sometimes we'll hold and tuck things in. We're not always going to project how we're feeling. We'll tuck it in. So if he was keeping in some like feelings he had for her, then he probably wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying? He probably would have felt some type of way if the feelings were more than just vibing, we chilling, we cool. Because like Yashika said, the more you start dealing with somebody, you start gaining emotional.
Right.
That connection you start being intimate, holding hands, kissing, and all this other stuff you do.
But can you do all of that on the casuals?
You can if you don't give a F no more.
Because you see, I'm old school. I don't know about the casual portion of things. We just kicking it. We killing that type of the casual portion of the terms and stuff. It gets confusing because casual and relationship shouldn't be commingling to me.
So what is casual?
We just chilling.
I know for casual, I don't. And when I'm in a casual situation, to me, kissing is a very intimate act. Right. I don't kiss people I'm casually kicking it with.
And that's the reason why, for me, the word casual and relationship shouldn't be in the same.
So what
shouldn't be in the same mix.
Where's the limit to casual?
We don't talk every day. You don't have to check in. I don't need to. You don't have to acknowledge me on your daily basis. We don't have to see each other every weekend. We don't have to, make time for each other. It's whenever we got the time to hang out about. That's the casual part of it. When you are dating somebody, you start, hey, how you doing? You might text them every day or something. It's just.
Not so if you're, man.
So if you're casual, free, it's not a personal connection.
Okay.
Right, to a certain degree. I think if we casual, I don't need to know everything about you. You get what I'm saying? I need to know the important stuff because I don't know if you're crazy, psycho, stuff like that. But yeah, mental state, individuals involved. I don't need to know everything about you. Little by little, I can start, but there's certain things I don't need to know about you. You're casually kicking it.
Right.
Okay.
I don't want to know about your grandma and them and your auntie and them and
so then it's some form of a detachment still.
You ain't meeting my kids, I ain't meeting your kids. Like you ain't inviting me over to a barbecue to meet your no.
So the same way now, like if you went to the grocery store, you saw him walking with someone, you just keep it moving.
Right.
Okay.
You wouldn't even say hello. Is that casual.
No, well,
I
you
mean,
didn't.
me personally, I said hello to people I was casually kicking it with. Just, hey, how you doing? And then, oh, that's all you had for me. You was with somebody. Whatever.
For me, even when they're with someone walking in public or something,
you can speak. You can throw your hand up, or you can send them a text. I see you.
Okay. And they text you back. Yeah, I see you too.
I've had that happen. I've literally texted someone and say, hey, just so you know, I'm in the room. I don't want you to feel no type of way because I'm not physically going to acknowledge you. I see you with somebody. I just want to say, hey.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So, so now, Miss Bailey, let me ask you. Is that alert behavior, or is that something in today's society where we can cut off that emotional portion of ourselves due to the fact of where the dating world is going now?
Are you being gender specific or just in general?
In general, because it's I think it goes both ways. I can honestly say I think it goes both ways from hearing from males and females in conversation, is that I think everyone has reached a certain tolerable limit at this point now in different social environments. I know for me, going out to clubs and stuff like that is a waste of time for me, when back in the days that was more of, I don't want to say a hunting ground, but it was like I don't want to say hunting ground, but it was just like but it was the social spot to go find someone. You know what I'm saying? But now you go to a social event and guys are on one side, females are, and it's not just a Florida thing, or I've been to New York, California, Atlanta. You go to every spot, it's the same thing going on.
In any club right now, really.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
not dancing.
So
Really.
now I don't know, like the casual portion of things, including the fact that you have the tenders and the was it Bumble and
POF,
Bumble or whatever it is.
Christian Mingle.
You know,
what is a tender?
Then you don't know what it is. Don't worry about it.
It's a dating app. It's a dating app.
Yeah,
Facebook.
Tinder. Yeah, it's a dating app, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Tinder, you mean?
Is it Tinder, right?
It's Tinder, man.
What did I say?
He said tender.
Or whatever it is. Tinder. Okay. Terminology might be off. I might be wrong, but okay. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is,
a friend told me
for all these different things, for all these different reasons, now we've become detached emotionally because, again, with those dating sites, from what I heard from individuals that I know that are on it heavy, this is a casual cesspool. It's like, I'm here and I'm gone. You know, like
if I had to get back to that, I would be completely lost. I probably would just give up. I would be able to just give up.
But being somebody who has used apps, who is casually dating, I'm gonna be honest with you, the men are leading this, because when you start saying what you want, a lot of times it's not aligning up with what these men want. A lot of men don't want relationships. They don't want to get to know you to build towards seeing something in the future. Oh, we just kicking it right now. So that is the norm, but it's set predominantly by men right now. Real talk.
Why do you?
Then I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm not saying that it's not roles reversed, because I do have a family member who doesn't have kids, who is single. He is noticing with dating, women ostracize him because he don't have kids. He was like, wait, wasn't this what I'm supposed to do? I understand men ostracize women for having kids and we shouldn't do that, but now y'all ostracize me because I'm an actual man that didn't do these things, and it's hard for him to date because of the fact of the matter that a lot of women want families and they want these things, but they want it at a faster pace than what he's willing to give. So it all depends. But right now I'm noticing men don't want to get to know you, or they say, I don't know, to move towards relationships. A lot of men want to kick it. They want the poutine. They want pussy, panani. They want to fuck. They want to fuck. Or they'll tell you, or they'll say, let's kick it just so they can fuck. But you ain't got a lot to kick it.
That's what I heard is someone put down tender is chicken. Tender is chicken. My bad. Okay. And like you said, That's just to tell you that I haven't been on that dating app.
You've been at Publix, yes, a chicken tender sub. That's what you've been in Publix.
My bad if I pronounced it wrong, okay? When some people say, I swear I heard tender, but Tinder, okay? But but at the end of the day, like I said, like Miss Bailey just explained those. If I had to go on that thing, I'm good. I'm old school where I gotta know a friend and know a friend. You know what I mean? Because that person could tell me ahead of time. Like if I was at the barbecue and I saw somebody and said, "Yo, who that? Oh, that's Q's friend." I can say to Q, "That's your friend." Q might say, "Nah,
not her."
You know what I'm saying? Then I'm good. Instead of having to go deal with, doing the whole.
But that don't even exist no more. That's funny that you brought that up. That doesn't really even exist anymore. I posted something a few years ago, and I'm like, dang, remember back in the day when somebody would be like, girl, I know somebody that would be perfect for you, or boy, I got somebody. Nowadays they be like, nah, everybody I know trash. That N-word ain't shit. She ain't shit. It's bad. I get it all the time. Like I constantly hear that. Oh man, I wish I had somebody to set you up with. You such a good catch, but let me. Nah, he ain't ish. She ain't ish. Like it's bad.
You're actually saying you don't want to fish for yourself. You want somebody put down that bait for you.
Referral of mouth is a great thing. It used to be a good thing. A referral of mouth to know someone's character based upon someone you like or someone you know and trust was the way to go about it back in the day.
Yeah. That's true.
So let me ask my man AP, right? Because tell me
what
I'm just saying, old school or the new school?
Man, I'm old school all the way. I don't even know what the new
apps.
I don't even know what to do right now. Like
and see, that's the sad part about
it. The only it's when you're comparing it to then and now, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem that I see that the men have now is they don't know how to speak to women. Mm-hmm. That's they don't know how to communicate, or they're afraid to communicate. They don't want to be vulnerable unless they're singing one of the songs like Rod Wave got or something like that. Then they feel that they could do it with liquid courage, right? All up in the bar, but they're not really doing anything.
But then I've seen on the flip side. I went on a date one time and I opened the door for a female. She looked at me, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm opening the door." She said, "I could do that myself." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay,
it all
my bad.
What energy.
So it's the individuals.
It's in the individual because if they're not used to certain things, then they feel like you're doing certain things to get something. Right. So if, for example, there was this young lady I used to bring her flowers every week. Mm. So every week, to her standards, and her mother and her sister and her cousins was, girl, every time he brings you something, he's cheating. Right? So
I've heard that
every Friday, because it was every Friday, every Friday it was, oh, you see? He would cheat throughout the week, and then he just came and saw you on the weekend, so he just had So
but then
and that's covering your guiltiness.
So now,
exactly.
Ms. Bailey, let me ask you now, at that point, is that considered a red flag for my man AP now to exit?
I believe it is, because it becomes toxic, the environment that she's in. So are you willing to put much energy into trying to convince her that this is not who you are? Or are you willing to walk away? So with that, something you said before in reference to the dating, I think social media has taken a lot of we were talking about old school and new school. Right. Social media has a lot. It's to blame for a lot of that. Yeah. People hide behind the computer screen. Mm-hmm. They hide behind. They have no accountability and no responsibility for what is said. They have no accountability for what they do, because they're able to cowardly hide behind a screen or a phone or whatever. So when it comes to that, and we're trying to level up and date and meet people, that it's very hard to do that when you have so many people that are afraid to be transparent. They don't want to be vulnerable. I guess nowadays it's a weakness in order to be your authentic self. And so because of that, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. Even with the young lady, she has people in her ear. You have to be cognizant of who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, that's another
You
thing.
have to be. Everyone doesn't need to know what's going on. You have to be cognizant of who you surround yourself with, what you're being fed. Sometimes, if you're the brightest one in the room, you need to leave. It's so many different factors that contribute to how we are as people. This room that we're in right now is very conducive to each one of us because we're learning on each other. You feel like, oh, you're the therapist, so we're going to learn from you. I'm learning from you all. And if I could be honest, as a therapist, yeah, I have the education behind me, but half of that is theory. The other half is life. As a therapist. It's theory.
That's why she's writing down every single thing that we're talking about right now. So let me tell you something.
You see what you're thinking?
If you write a book and I see anything, it's like, oh no, don't put it away, don't put it away, don't put it away, don't put it away. Don't put it away.
No, but I do. I do. I write notes
actually,
because I am learning. I learn from you all.
No, but
I could
personally,
I could bring everything to the table. I have 2 master's degrees. I could bring that to the table. But what good is that going to do me if I'm not listening to what she's saying? I'm not listening to what you guys saying, and I'm not making it applicable to my life and my client's life. So yeah, half of it is theory. The other half is life. So we have to learn from each other. If someone is in my ear and it's negative, eventually, if I don't remove myself, I'm gonna be subjective to what they're saying. It's gonna be effective for me. The young lady, her people, her mom, her sister, and whomever was in her ear. Girl, he cheated. Every week you get flowers. Oh yeah, he doing something. He doing something. Yeah, and this was real simple. You were doing what you were taught to do. You were bringing something new to her, but she didn't see it that way.
No, she didn't.
It changed her life, but all she heard was what everyone else was feeding her. So in relationships, I can tell you, being married for 26 years, I can tell you my family, and me and my sister is really close. I can tell you my family did not know maybe 10% of what was going on in my household. Because I learned at an early age to keep family where family is. You keep them out of, because he can do something to me. I go run and tell family. They're mad. They're hot. And I go back to him.
Yeah.
Family still mad and hot. Family don't understand.
Right.
So you have to, these are different things that come in the relationship. These are different things that the young lady, eventually, hopefully she will learn to not tell mom and sister and auntie everything and allow AP to be the man that he was, and it could have changed her life.
So let me ask a question, because I was having a discussion with a good friend of mine today on this, and I said I would ask you your opinion on it. He made a good point. He said, for a lot of young men, we're not trained, and vice versa for females, we're not trained really to know the different types of females, like how your mother would know different types of female, because that's not a talk about situation. Meaning, you know how females would talk to each other. Like Jazz, for instance, you may talk to Miss Bailey and say, yo, you know, that girl is blah, 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 blah. You know, the certain little things. And you and your daughter may, you know, converse about it, but sons don't get involved in those conversations. So the sons will never know what to look out for the females that he's dating, right?
Yeah, because sometimes
so it gets to a point where it's like the only time that comes out is when the female comes around now and he's already in that relationship. The mother or some other females will say, yeah, I don't like her because da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? And if we had trained the male or the female, meaning that maybe the father trained the females to look for this type of guy, don't date this type of guy. And females, the mothers can train the sons to say, look out for this type, date that type, or something like that. It could kind of help things because we don't see the red flag sometimes until we're already deep in it.
Yeah, as dudes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was going there too. As dudes, we don't see that. Sometimes mothers have more insight and seeing a
female to female, you know.
Yeah,
so.
No, the mothers will see our son bring someone, and basically the mother could feel that
right.
No, not her.
Right.
Not her. You know, mother has that feeling sometimes. Mothers can be wrong too.
Right.
But most of the time.
But the thing that I'm asking now is it should we start doing things different than how we grew up, where we never had these conversations with mom until the girl came to the house, and by then you already your emotions is already into it.
I was having those.
Well,
you were?
I agree with. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, AP said he was having
I was having those conversations. I would say more part of, say, my aunts, my sisters, my cousins, the females, they would put me up on game.
Well, let me ask you now, since you said that, were you guys closer in age or?
I was 5 years younger than most.
And see, maybe that's why.
But then the others, I was like 2 to 3 years apart.
See, maybe that's why. Because I know in my family, the aunts and everyone, they're older than me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
oh no, the aunts were far older than
me. But you were still having conversations.
Still
sometimes my family, we don't have those conversations.
Sometimes this come from broken family also, because father used to talk to son.
Right.
But now it doesn't really happen like that. It's not there again.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not there when father used to talk to son. And normally boys usually get the upper hand. Boys bring a girl early. Oh, you'll be turned right now. You're the man. Right. But if a girl bring a dude around, it's like a problem.
I'm gonna give you guys a snare. So there's a mentoring program I work with, right? And
no, we got a tech around here. I know he's crazy.
There are 41 kids in the program, 41 males, okay, from the ages 7 to 18. And one of the executive director asked the first day I remember, he said, by a show of hands, how many of you have fathers in your homes? How many think? How many hands you think?
Fathers in the home?
In the home.
7 from the fathers.
And how many of them?
There were 41.
3.
10.
3.
4.
Close.
Very close.
And
we
I'm being optimistic.
And when the 4 hands went up, all the men in the room, we all looked at each other, and we knew it, but we didn't know it.
Right.
Yeah. Because when you see it and you understand that, okay, since that's not happening, there needs to be a presence there so they can understand the plan, the way, and the path. Because if you're not shown that, then you'll just get that from Day and Winston and Ray and people from hurt people.
Right.
And then if you're getting information from hurt people, then you're going to be doing hurt things, and you're going to be hurting people for a long time until you get
that's
right.
the society we're living in right now.
Basically.
That's what we're living in.
So it's kind of to stay on what you're saying, but kind of to get back to something we discussed last week. That's kind of like what Yashika was talking about last week when she was saying that people who date or are in relationships or whatever the case may be have childhood issues, traumas, daddy not being there, mama not being there, abusive, so that leads them into becoming the adults who can't date or have issues dating currently. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So as you're saying, there's only 3 fathers in the home. I know people who've had their both parents in the home, and they can't be good in relationships with people because there was traumas as a child that they saw their parents going at it. Or I'll use myself as an example. I tend subconsciously, I don't do this consciously, but subconsciously, I tend to date men like my father. I had an absentee father who decided football was more important than his kids. And I always thought as a little girl, because his mom kind of kept him away and stuff, I always thought that if I was pretty enough, or if I was smart enough in school, or if I always was a good girl, my dad was going to come back. My dad never came back. I had good grades in school. I was a good child, the best that I could be for my mom. And I tend to date broken, like I call them wounded birds, men who have mama issues, men who are not confident in themselves, and they need someone to lift their egos up, like my father. And I subconsciously I deal with that trauma, because as a child my dad was absentee, and he was absentee because he was a mama's boy trying to please his mama. He wanted to go do his career. He needed to be uplifted and elevated to feel good about himself, and he got on drugs. So now when I date men, for some reason, they may aesthetically be pleasing, they may be financially pleasing, they all got the same trait. Something is broken in them, and they want me to fix it.
That's real.
And I want
are
her to
you looking? Could it be that you're looking to fix?
I was just about to ask.
No, and that's the thing. Sometimes
There's never
I'm not
been a time
looking to
that
fix. I'm not looking to fix nothing.
Really?
It just comes out once they get to know me and they start talking to me. Then we start, oh, here we go again. He broke. And something about him is broken. He wants me to mend this. Here I come. Oh, I'm leaving you. You can do this. Oh boy. Like we at Disney, and I'm on a ride that I can't get off of.
You sounded like Minnie for a second.
I know. Come on, Mickey. But I wanted Yashika to kind of expound on that, because it kind of ties into what you were just saying, AP. But she brought it up last week, and it was just like, people don't realize that affects them as they get older.
Facts.
It does. Yeah. It has such a profound effect on us that we don't realize, because it is 5 of us right here in this room. We may not all recognize or identify it as a trauma or brokenness, but we all have it. We all wrestle with something in adulthood that we did not resolve as a child. Even John, who started the podcast, there had to be a reason that you started the podcast, a reason that you wanted. It was a voice that you wanted to be heard, or something that you wanted to clarify. All of us have at some point something in our childhood. It could be very minimal, but we still carry that. We still carry that brokenness. It could have been, for me, it was my adult relative saying that I wasn't going to be anything. And as a child, I always say, if adults could only monitor what they say to children. Old school, you're talking about old school. Remember the grandmas and the aunts, they didn't care what they said to us.
No filter.
They did not care what they said to us. And you'll be okay. But you tend to hold on to that. So for the next person, it could have broken them and sent them into drug abuse or alcohol abuse or being promiscuous. It could have sent them on a different path. For me, it was, I'm going to show them. And so that's something that I held on to. That was a motivator for me. But then there were some other things that were broken. There was molestation between the ages of 8 and 10 for me. So you have so much of that you're broken and you're broken and you're trying to get it pieced together. And then you have a single mom who's doing the very best that she can. So, this is something else you got to bring to the single mom, that one of your friends touched me. So it's just so much. So that brokenness shows up in adulthood, shows up in relationships. It shows up in our parental relationships, how we are parents to our kids. It shows up in the workplace. Yeah. It shows up in the marriages. It shows up in inconsistencies as to do I want to do this as an adult? Do I want to do this for the rest of my life? No, I want to go from job to job. I want to do. You would be amazed if you look at your life and you would if you were able to go back and look at your life and see some things, you'll see that that little boy or girl is showing up in this adult body, unhealed,
That's so
unhealed.
true. That's so true. And sometimes it's there in front of us and we don't consider it as that.
Yes. And I can say for Caribbean people, it's harder.
Huh. That's what I was about to say, boy.
Yeah.
It's harder.
I've
been with mine for 30 years. So I've been in a family dynamic for 30 years. It is harder because he grew up on survival. I grew up on love. And so that survival shows up a different way than me showing up being raised on love.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But in your case, you turn it around.
Yeah. Well, it takes work.
Yeah.
So it takes work. I got into therapy because I had a 14-year-old daughter who wanted to speak to somebody. And I never grew up seeing a therapist. Never grew up.
I think none of us have.
I did.
Yeah,
I did. But not by choice. Not by choice.
Yeah.
Nah,
at 14, she was trying to find herself. And she's like, I said, you want to talk to someone? Yeah. So it took me and her pediatrician 6 months to find an African-American therapist. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do this for not only my kids, I want to do this for my community. And at this point right now, it's still trying to get the community to see therapists as not as taboo, but we're really here to really want to help you. Yeah. So she was 14, she's 23 now. So I've been on this journey. I went to school down there where you all are located. So it was a journey. I went to Nova. So
okay.
I would drive from West Palm Beach to Nova every week. And it was, all I'm saying is sometimes you look at your kids and you don't want them to repeat what you did. So you do something about it. You do something about it. So now I have a young ladies group that both my daughters are in. So now I'm teaching them that when you see a sister that looks like you, she's not competition. She's your sister. So when you see other Black and brown women that look like you, they're not in competition with you. You lift them up. Those are the type of things we weren't taught.
Right.
Those are the type of things that makes this world a better place if you start young.
That's the main thing that we're trying to get across. AP, you had something you was gonna say?
Other than we're all broken in some way, somehow. It's just about how you either come back from the brokenness, you get some sort of assistance going through it, but understanding that we're not all perfect. And there are times when, and I'm going back on the Caribbean men thing, where it's extremely hard for Caribbean men to be vulnerable, period.
Survival.
And it goes right back to all those instinctive things, right? And a lot of times those are things that we either have to change or learn new behaviors or get around different environments. So I always go back to it's people, places, and things. Get away from negative people, places, and things, and you'll find your resolve and success in basic life, because the negativity breeds envy and all those things from there, and then you start having bigger problems that come with it. But
and what she was saying earlier about it, I think it put a toll on females more for the fact that most of it comes from this molestation that she talks about for females. when you hear so much about it, it's like out of every 10 females, at least 5, 6 of them was in that situation.
And it's hard to hear it and know it, because I think one of the biggest problems in our community, Black, Caribbean, just in general, in all our community, is the fact that the accountability portion of things. Like, we're not holding people accountable for their actions.
What goes on in the house stays in the house. Remember that?
And that's the number one problem for me that I have.
Families
within
uncles,
family and community and stuff, because the problem with it now, if you come now as that vocal point, you're now the troublemaker, or you're the bad guy, or what's your problem, or you're the angry Black guy, or all these different labels. Now, when you're just saying, yo, how about what right is right and what's wrong is wrong? There's no gray area. I always educated my son on this. I said, listen, when they run in the race, okay, don't let nobody fool you. No one cares who came in the middle, who came last, or who won. That's all they care about. So it's right and what's wrong. You know where your moral compass should point. Wherever it points, if it points south, then you do you. I go north. You understand? Because there's a right and a wrong, and it doesn't matter whether it's my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, my friend, my uncle, my niece. It doesn't matter. It's right is right and wrong is wrong. That's that. So I can't look now, and if AP say something, oh, AP, you're wrong. But if my brother did the same thing he did, well, that's my broski. No, it doesn't make a difference. Exactly. You're wrong, he's wrong. But that's the problem in our community, is that they'll know, like, oh, this guy, oh, don't bring, that whole old saying, that uncle that you don't want to bring to the barbecue.
Oh, don't bring the kids around, because cousin Ray is, how he is. And lock his ass up if you know how he is.
Exactly. So the main thing is, why is Ray still around? Why is he coming to anything? Why is he in the neighborhood? Why haven't we vanished him? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm saying.
I grew up
they happen to be the cash cow.
Right.
They have to be doing something.
I grew up in a family where we had a uncle who did something to a relative. I think it was my grandmother, and the family basically kind of just kept him tucked away to the side. An uncle that did something, and I know for a fact, growing up, I'm with you, Yashika. I was molested. I was molested by a female and a male in my family around the same time, from the ages of 8 to 10. And then my first year in middle school, I was sexually assaulted by a classmate in a bathroom at school. So I had to learn what therapy was. I was already messed up from holding the child, the molestation in. Nobody didn't know till I became an adult. Within the last 7 years, those truths came out to people. I'm like, I can't keep holding this stuff in, because I'm trying to get better in my 40s. So I finally revealed those things to my mother. The male one, my mom was kind of like, the female one, my mom was very shocked, and my mom was like, wow, I had no clue, but I had to be honest with it. And then I have a god sister who knew about the god brother that did it. But the classmate situation, Dade County Public Schools, because I was assaulted on a school where my uncle was one of the principals, I had to go to therapy. That Dade County Public Schools would only paid for 2 therapy sessions. It was $150 for my therapy session. And my mom, I come from a single parent who barely could pay rent. And I could not continue to go to the therapy sessions because my mom couldn't afford it. We went to court. We did all those things. Those therapy sessions were very key for me. And when I had my last child, I had postpartum depression. I never had it before. I didn't know what it was. Couldn't recognize it. My mom was temporarily staying with me, and she noticed something was wrong, took me to the doctor, and I went to therapy. I didn't have a Black therapist. I wish I would have, but I had a really nice faith-based woman who really helped me out with a lot of unpacking, a lot of unpacking, because I had a lot of trauma during my pregnancy. And it to this day, I just got out of it where it's not affecting how I view men now. Because of what I went through during the pregnancy, it was bad. The person who I got pregnant from did me really, really, really bad. A lot of mental trauma. And thank God for therapy. Thank God for therapy. Thank God for a notebook sometime at night, just writing my thoughts out, getting them out. So I don't carry a lot of this on to other people moving
That's
on.
good.
But call a thing. Now you got to call people out on their stuff.
Yep.
I had to finally I had to put a name and a face to people who did things to me back then. So now as an adult, I can move forward.
Can I ask
you a question?
Oh.
Wow.
Did you forgive him?
I forgave them a long time ago because if I wouldn't have, there was a time when I almost killed myself.
Yeah.
When I was younger. I had to.
Yeah.
I had to forgive them because I was mentally going through some things when I was younger that I didn't understand. And I think that's part of the reason why I had a child at 16, not understanding what emotionally I was still holding on to. And I had to forgive them. And I always tell people, if it wasn't me for forgiving them and Mary J. Blige's My Life album, I would not be here right now.
Wow. That was key.
First, I want to say thank you for sharing.
Yes.
You see that?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
As you're sharing, it's helping people
It's
get
helping
to the next
somebody.
level,
Yes.
right? But the thing that I want to
See what I said?
mainly talk about is what you said was it took me a while to let it out and to share it. Many times men get stuck into this thing of, well, then if this happened, why it took us so long to say this and that, not understanding. Can you speak to that point of?
Yeah.
So I felt like, so first of all, the male who molested me, he was older and he kept saying, I'm gonna hurt you if you tell. I'm gonna hurt you if you tell. My god sisters knew. And eventually when they found out, they stepped in and they stopped it, but I never spoke it. I never said it to anybody. I just held on to it because I felt my mom would have been like how my mom was when I did tell her as an adult. I don't believe you. Because every time she would bring that person's name up to me, I'd be like, why are you always talking to me about this person? And she didn't see my uncomfortability that I was having every time she mentioned that person. Then as for the female that did it, I had to realize what it was. So sometimes things happen to children and they don't realize what it was. So I had a relative who had access to cable television when we were growing up. And y'all know if you didn't have cable TV, you didn't really see sex. You didn't really see any of that stuff. So let's play this game. I'm going to do to you what I saw on TV.
There you go.
I didn't realize I was being molested until I got older and I was like, whoa. That made no sense. As an adult, when I learned what sex was, that was sex. That was sex at 8 years old. That was a form of oral sex.
I'm so
I'm a female. So I didn't say anything because I never wanted anybody to not believe me. I wasn't a liar. I never grew up being accused of being a liar. But sometimes being in Black families, people will just automatically think that you're lying. Why are you doing this to me? And it becomes they blame the victim. Why are you doing this to me? What do you want me to do about it? But when I was sexually assaulted by my classmate and I came home from school disheveled, my grandmother knew something was wrong. And I had to call a thing a thing. I had to say who it was. I had to tell my mom what happened because my grandmother, if anybody I'm gonna be honest to, it was her. So for me to come home from school and be mute and not speak and not say anything, I had to call it what it was to get this young man taken care of. He had to be removed from school and everything. So I couldn't function if I didn't.
But I'm sorry for your pain. And I'm so glad that we talk about this.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that we talk about this.
I got a long hug to give you when I see you.
I'm so glad we said,
you know, me and you family. I gotta give you a long hug when I see. Because
it's giving me chills, bro.
Like I said,
I'm getting chills, man.
All right, so
it's real
quick to go back to the to Miss Bailey when you made the point of asking me why I created this. It's for situations like this. The platform was created for myself as my form of therapy, dealing with a lot of betrayal and different things that happened to me from family that you thought were family members. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I would go around to different cities, different states, talk to a lot of people. I get phone calls to this day from people from California on a different coast time. It'll be 3 o'clock my time. They're calling me to talk to me about something. I still take those phone calls, even though it's like, 9 o'clock where they are. It's like, 12 there, 3 here. But the thing that I learned is that, again, because we don't do the therapy thing that often, but just being able to talk to someone can bring somebody down off the ledge. Yeah. I know for me, it bothered me that when I was going through certain things, I didn't really have the support mechanism from so-called friends. You would call somebody and you want to talk to somebody, you can hear them literally put the phone down. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did he just put the phone down? You know what I mean? Like, so now I feel like you're bothering somebody at this point. You know what I mean? So I said to myself, from going around to different spots and mainly in barbershops and different things, that's where the whole name and the whole premise of this whole thing came from. I'm talking to these people and they would have, some of them I didn't know, but just from having a conversation, they were always just drawn into me and telling me their life stories. And I'm like, I started gathering everything in my head and putting it together. And I'm saying, damn, these people, like somebody needs something to be able to come to talk. If I can't come to the barbershop, I bring the barbershop to them then. So it's my form of your form of therapy for them. For those that don't go out to actually look for a therapist, come here and come talk to us. You know what I'm saying? That's where the whole thing came from. And I'm glad it was created. And I want to thank a good friend of mine, Marvin Sims, that passed away during the whole pandemic, the COVID situation, because he was one of the founding members also that we formed this whole thing. But unfortunately he didn't make it to see everything come to where it's at. But at the end of the day, again, I'm hoping for things in our community to change, because with platforms, the sad part about it is good platforms like these and many others like this that are giving out good information, we're overlooked because we don't twerk, because we don't have all the negative
gotcha moment.
You know what I'm saying? The gossips and the
ratchet stuff.
Yeah, the rah-rah stuff. It gets overlooked, and you're giving them gems.
Yeah.
Giving them gems, and it's like, it's the sad part, but that's the seed that they planted in our community years ago. So we understand the science to it. You know what I'm saying?
You just got to keep planting.
Got to keep going.
So Jeff, I didn't get it. Miss Bailey asked you, was there a forgiveness?
She said, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I asked that because for me, when it happened to me, I don't know about anyone else's belief, but God is phenomenal, because when it happened to me, I didn't remember it. I remembered it when I turned 30.
Wow. You blocked it off.
It was blocked. Yeah. I had blocked it out, and I kept having these dreams, and I had this dream 3 nights in a row of this happening. And I was like, why do I keep dreaming about this? And who is this little girl I'm dreaming about? And he said it was you. And then everything downloaded. Everything I started remember.
Come back to place.
The person, the place, I started remembering. And it took me probably, so the age of 30, I'm going to say it probably took me up into maybe about 7-8 years to really get through it. Even when I was going to school, the last time for therapy, it helped me. It helped me in the processing of it. I realized that I had to forgive that person, and that was the only way I was going to be free of it. Because anytime that person's name was mentioned, I cringed. It bothered me. They reached out to me on Facebook trying to friend request me. That got to me. So I had to realize that the only way I'm going to get past this is I have to forgive them, and I have to release it. And once I did that, I felt a freeness. The first person I told was a friend of mine who had gone through the same thing. So it was a commonality that we shared. The second person was my husband. Of course, he needed to know names, places, and what.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. He was ready to go there. And then I told my mom, and I told her because I needed her to understand why I was the way I was about my kids. I didn't realize how very controlling I was, how overprotective I was for my kids. I have two girls and a son. I was very much, very much. And I had to explain that to her. And I had to apologize because, and I didn't want her to do anything, but I wanted her to know and I wanted to apologize. So forgiveness was a big thing and it was very much needed in order for me to move on. And Black therapists in our community is needed for this reason right here, because I don't think any other race would understand this dynamic of this discussion. I don't think they would really understand when we say what goes on in the house stays in the house. I don't think it would be a real trust in I can see eye to eye. I can understand. I know what you're saying. I know cousin Ray Ray and uncle over there. I get all of that. So I think it's very important that we show up in the community and we show up for our people. And that is what I'm trying to do. I really want to change the dynamic.
Yeah, you said something again about letting your partner know, your husband knew what you went through. A lot of people, we could be with wives, husband, and don't know what they have been through, and certain things that we are doing to them.
It's triggering.
I tell men
no.
I tell men when I get in serious relationships, I let them know off rip.
Mm-hmm.
It's something can bring something back, and I don't want to take it out on them, and I have to, so they know to handle me with care. Because it's a disservice to that person that's trying to be there for you or love on you or whatever the case may be. It's a disservice to them if you don't be honest with them, so they know how to handle you with care.
Yeah.
But you wait a certain amount of time before you do that, or
if it's someone that I really think that I'm going to move forward with, then I can deep dive into it. If you're casual, I can't let you into that part of me.
Yeah,
because as you saw, I still get emotional about it, but I felt comfortable in this space, and I felt like maybe somebody out there needed to hear that. Maybe somebody is not doing well and needed to hear that. But I felt comfortable enough in this space to tell it. A lot of my friends and family don't even know that. Very few people know that about me.
Let me ask one last question. Anyone, you had something? Oh, all right. One last question on the forgiveness portion of things. And we could talk off camera on this because I'm gonna need help with that. Because that one there, I'm like, I can't. Yeah.
You a Scorpio. Forgiveness don't mean you gotta fuck with somebody. I know where you going, but just because I forgive you don't mean I gotta fuck with you.
Right.
That's a healthy forgiveness. That's a healthy forgiveness.
That's how I am. I forgive
you,
but I ain't gotta.
Like I said,
listen, my man. That is the part of forgiveness that's healing yourself.
I can't do it.
It's for her. She did it for her.
No, I know.
Yeah, don't say anyone else.
Forgiveness is for you, not for them.
I understand. I'm still trying to get to that.
When you're gonna reach there, John?
Yeah, I can't.
How old you are?
John.
You can do it, man.
Understand this, John.
He's
Unless
trying to.
you go ahead and do something that's gonna make you extremely uncomfortable, you're not gonna get to the next level or the part that you need to get to.
Amen.
You need to do that to stretch.
Free yourself.
I guess the bigger question is, when you say forgive, and not in the same situation.
You won't forget.
Mine is not as serious, but in the form of saying, when I say forgive, how do I approach the person in that, or just for me to just say it out loud to myself?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
If
I did it.
But don't I have to mean it?
Yeah,
you have to mean it, and you have to work on it, because
I still got to work on it.
Forgive, you're not dwelling in it no more. When you forgive, you're not dwelling in it. You're releasing it. It was what it was. I don't have to talk to you. I ain't got to confront you about it. I'm good, because once you free yourself from that, God gonna open so many doors,
I
and when
don't think
you
about
can't
it
move
no more.
forward where
Right,
you
so
need to go because that is holding you back.
She just used a very good word there. Dwell on you. So
Yeah.
understand that's
Keep
still
going.
weight. That's still on you. No matter what you'll say about it, it's not on your mind all the time, but it's still weight that's on you.
Mhm.
So once you release weight off of you, you feel what? Lighter. You feel better. You can go forward.
Is that like tender?
Yeah.
Lighter.
But
Amen.
I'm telling you, out of
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Well,
forgiveness
I need help, my brother.
that you may not understand
No, you got to do it.
is
You
going to
don't
be
know.
more for you than
Mhm.
them, because
I
they may
feel
not
you.
even understand it. They may not even want it.
I got
Right.
But John, you know that they winning. And they know that you don't. That you still dwelling on it, and they know
well,
that.
you know what
and
it
they
is?
winning.
They're
I'm
winning.
gonna be honest with you.
They're still
I
winning.
don't think about, all of them and none of that. What it is just like problems that the individual put me in is that whenever I say I've tried to forgive it. 'Cause my man Chris Johnson, my brother right there.
Are you in a better place since that happened?
I'm golden.
That right there helps with the forgiveness.
Okay.
Because you're in a better place.
Well,
than
then I
you
guess I'm
were.
on the right track then.
Yes, you're in a better place than you were. We're not saying it happened overnight. I just told you it took about 7-8 years.
Because I know I hate to say this
I
though,
know
but
who's in a better place, man.
I'm in a good place. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
On the spiritual level with me and God, we're good.
I'm in a
But I'm
better
not gonna
place.
lie to nobody. It's the reoccurring issues that this person. Every time I put it out and say I forgive, all right, I forgive this person.
So
something will come back up, but that had me like taking it back. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
have you ever heard of healthy boundaries? Have you ever heard of healthy boundaries?
No, but I'm not in contact with this individual. It's just all that.
It's just the other stuff.
Even with that, the healthy
Gotta let it
boundaries
go,
is
bro.
even your thought process.
They
So
live
you're
free
in
your head.
control of your thoughts, your emotions, and your own energy. You're not in control of anything that has to do with that person. You're in control of everything that has to do with you. So if you're continuously thinking about it, you are the only one that control those thoughts.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the only one that can control those thoughts. So even
Don't
though
let
you're in a
anybody
better
live
place,
rent free in your head.
That's true.
yes,
At all.
I
you're
get
in a
that.
better place.
No rent-free
So work
living.
towards getting towards a better place.
And be thankful to God that you're in a
Get that water
position
right
to where you can handle that reoccurring situation that constantly occurs every time you see something in a mail
Because
or bill or something like that.
What it is, John, is re-triggering. It's a trigger. Every time that person does something to you, it's a trigger. It triggers your emotions.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. So until you fully forgive and until you fully process those feelings and those thoughts, you're going to continue to allow that to trigger you, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe I do need to see a therapist, or the mere fact that, like Jess said, Scorpios, we go hard on everything. And when we put our all into somebody, we're always on that loyal note, and we stand by a lot of, just the moral codes.
Human doormats. Human doormats. We are human doormats.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with it for me, and again, just in case that individual is watching, I like that individual to know that if they were on fire, I would drink the water. That's how I
Petty ass Scorpio.
So, just in case you all watching, I'm telling you right now, if
So
you was
much
on
for
fire,
forgiveness.
I'm drinking the water before I put you out.
So much
God
for the
bless you, good night.
forgiveness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
My
just in
brother.
case, if they all living in my head rent free, you're about to get evicted. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
So just in case you all watching, no.
The eviction is the forgiveness.
We
Get them out your
My
head.
man and them, they gonna help me work on it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm helping you.
You know that too. Me and you twin. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm trying to get you there.
You know what I'm saying? Because Miss Bailey scared me at first. I thought she was writing a bill at first when she was in the book.
You know what? I personally, I buy bundles of journals and I hand them out. So I have journals everywhere that I hand out because I believe in journaling.
Can you give your information out, because I would love to bring both of my daughters to therapy. I think coming and utilize your service. One is 26 and one is 13, and they both are in pivotal points right now where they both need therapy for certain things.
Sure.
So could you give out your information just for anybody outside of also for myself, but anybody else who may want to use it? John, to come in on your couch.
I was just gonna say, John, get up and a pen.
Sure.
You're a victim. Hot damn, if you gonna go fund me, then
This Evolving Therapeutic Services, and my phone number is 561-644-9194.
Appreciate that.
Perfect.
All right. So listen, once again, Ms. Bell, you know you family.
Yes.
So at any time, if you have something that you want to speak on or anything like that, feel free. The platform is yours. You family with us. And shout out,
Thank you for
a
that.
great comedian. Mouth of the South. I gotta thank you wherever you are. Love is love, family. Without you, we would not.
I think she's at work. She
probably is,
but
I'm
she's
gonna tell her right now.
Probably somewhere watching.
Oh, no.
She's my biggest.
We're doing the interview with her. We're doing the interview with her as well to get her on the platform as well. But thank you so much.
We might need to use for speed dating. A therapist might be needed for speed dating.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
We're working on it, y'all.
We're working on that.
Whenever you need, whenever you would want me to do something, I just need notice. I work 6-7 days a week, so
okay.
I have
Too Jamaican.
I have. There you go. I got 3 jobs.
Oh, she's Jamaican now.
You
wasn't Jamaican before. You are Jamaican now.
3 jobs.
Yeah, I have 3 jobs. So yeah.
Okay. So and Jazz, listen. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you, Jazz. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hey, Jazz, I love you too. So
I love you, Q.
Okay.
I appreciate the fact that
love is love.
You let us into your world today. And I want to applaud both of you for being strong Black women. And like I said, anything I can support and help, just let me know.
Happy International Women's Month. Also.
Yes, that too. Yes, thank you.
It's queens and kings uplifting other kings and queens, and that's what it's about.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So AP, I want to thank you too. You a founding member, like you family for life.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Q, same thing.
Yeah.
My man, Black IT is always, without him, none of this would be possible at the end of the day. So for him, Black Republican, DJ Mr. Chang, Sassy, Jess, Nisha J, Norris. Who else we talking about?
Black Republican.
We already mentioned him. He in the building already.
All right.
We talking about everybody.
Everybody.
Oh, and Aaliyah, and Keisha Cash as well. Aaliyah and Keisha Cash as well. From founder members, thank you very much. Because without all of y'all, none of this would be possible. So I want to thank everyone for joining us once again. Shout out to my man MD, my man Soul Chill, Khalil out over in the West Coast, Dr. Johnson on the West Coast.
Shout out to everybody,
man. Without everybody, it wouldn't be possible.
Everybody that put comments, all the people that do the comments. Shout out to y'all for being engaged.
One man them up in there again. All right, so let me run through them.
And the person they use
JM, what up? What up, JM?
That's Alice.
Links, what up, Links?
Soul Chill.
Well, Soul Chill. That's family right there. Janine, what up? What up? That's family.
Yeah. Gwendolyn,
that's my bestie.
Oh yes.
Hey, welcome.
All right, welcome to the platform. Who else? Oh, hold up. Gwendolyn and everyone else. Gwendolyn and everyone else, please do subscribe and hit that notification
button.
Like,
hit the like button. Subscribe.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get these subs up.
Ellis, what up? Denise, what up?
Got some good things to talk about.
So I want to thank everyone once again for joining us. You can find us every Friday night, 9 p.m. live at the Barbershop. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell.
One thing.
What up?
March is Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month.
Say no
So
more.
if someone can wear orange, get some awareness about multiple sclerosis. That's what I've been dealing with for the past couple of years. Help someone if you know someone. It's not something that you cannot get through. So that and pray for Haiti.
That.
What happened?
I have a client that has that.
How are they doing?
She's doing pretty good. She's doing physical therapy now, and then she does psychotherapy. So she's doing pretty good. She's 19.
Let her know there's nothing that she can't go through. I've been blind. I've been paralyzed. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. Couldn't do anything. 13 years. They said I wouldn't be able to do anything other than stay in the hospital bed and have people visit me, right? But as you see,
God. But God.
Yeah. You see how that works?
But God.
I had to let go of a lot of negativity that was upon me before I get through
there's a reason
marathon that I'm on right now.
Well, there's a reason why
But
God brought you back around. So here's the deal. So here's what I'm gonna do. One better for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
Since next month is the month. How about you come?
This month.
It's this month.
It's this month.
This month is MS.
Oh, March. My bad.
March.
So here's the deal then.
One more week.
Come back. I heard you come back next week.
No problem.
And you can educate us all and tell us everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem. I'll do that.
Yeah.
As long as everybody comes back next week, right?
Wow.
Is that everybody?
The invites out there. If you guys can make it, I'll be here.
About MS?
No.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
I would love to know about it. I'm not.
So,
all right, so we be back for part 3.
Yeah, so Miss Bailey, she already get what she said. You have to notify.
Yeah.
This is the notification from
the notification. You got 1 week notice.
Let me check my calendar. Hold on.
Impossible is nothing. Impossible is nothing.
It's all good though.
I
want to see if she's free. Hold up.
Yeah, we want orange. Orange.
We're good.
Orange. Okay, and we're gonna wear orange. I'll wear my UM stuff with support.
Okay.
I got it.
But orange is the color, like pink is the color for
breast awareness.
Breast cancer.
And the next month is testicular cancer, which is purple. So every
you're teaching. Keep it for next week, bro.
We have someone else for that situation, but it what do you have? Was it
your boy?
Yeah,
your boy that was there at the
Errol, my man Errol and whatnot. So we'll have him on for that portion also. So it'll be a good, we'll have some good conversations coming up. So next week you're on. We'll all be back. And what up? The following week, for who? Figure it out.
Because we gotta get down and dirty.
I forgot my man. He already reminded me. Yo, dog, I'm going on vacation. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. We're gonna be here. We'll figure it out.
Don't worry. I got class.
I'll figure it out. We'll be here. We'll be here. This is very important. We'll be here. Okay.
Outreach.
All right. So I want to thank everyone for joining us once again. Please.
It's Good Friday. Next Friday is Good Friday.
Blessings.
That'll be a Good Friday.
Yeah.
Blessings.
Okay.
So once again, just please, I'm asking everyone. We just need a few more numbers to get where we got to get to. Please
subscribe.
So
Tell a friend. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. This is gems that we're giving out every single Friday night.
Tell everybody.
So please,
everyone listening on my behalf, subscribe. Gwen,
please.
Des, Robin, Nita. Now to the South, subscribe.
Yes, live at the barbershop. Okay. So I want to thank everyone for joining us, and please, I'll see you back here next Friday. My man AP got the show live on deck. I might be behind where IT is, but we'll all be here 100%. All right, AP? It's all yours. All right. Thank you again, Miss Bailey. Thank you once again, Jazz. Yo, love, twin.
You're welcome.
Q, AP, IT. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. And like I always say, please go out in the world and be somebody. All right?
Go out in the world and be somebody.